Welcome to the Infinite Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Charisse Marie, your enthusiastic guide on this journey to unlocking prosperity and manifesting your dreams into reality. As we navigate this journey together, we'll dive into themes of gratitude, resilience, and vision, elements that form the foundation of abundant life. You'll discover how embracing these principles can propel you toward unimaginable success. Remember, you have the power to manifest abundance beyond measure. Together, let's unlock doors to prosperity, one episode at a time.
Hi, this is Dr. Janelle. I am bringing to you a very special portal opening for building legacy and being liberated, or as I call it, liberty wealth building legacies, and what we are here to do to come together and make the world a better place. So with that being said, on 11/1, an amazing portal to be starting out this wonderful conversation that we get the experience to have together and collectively pull. So with that being said, there are significant magnified changes that are occurring in our reality right now that have been ending cycles that began for you in 2008. And as you're beginning this new journey that starts actually today, will be a 20-year cycle coming to an end. I just want you to pause and take a moment to realize the amazingness of how precisely and delicately we are put together. We are masterful builders. And your soul decided to come into this time and choose to make an impact in the world, both as a woman, as a man, as a soul, as a body coming into this time period and choosing your gifts and talents with the universe in order to captivate and cultivate building wealth that breaks generational curses, that breaks generational strongholds as a soul, belief systems, structures, society, things that have bound us for lifetimes. We are coming into this moment of complete ownership of the power that you are. And a couple of questions around that for you. One, what is the cycle that has been keeping you locked up in chains and kind of bound up in a belief system, or feeling like you have been meeting a brick wall when it comes to manifestation of your wealth and building something that is longevity and history within your family? Because usually people that find me are the rebels. They are the ones that are going against the grain, or what I call moving in a different flow, in a different rhythm. And you face the most adversity and you face the most challenges. So I asked you the question, what is the one thing that has been consistent since 2008 that has kept you in that holding pattern? And once you identify it, can you link it back to the places where you started or stopped something in your business, whether it be a new project, or working with clients in a different way, or creating a service or a product that served others? And take a moment to kind of ponder that question. And did you have people in your life that were not supportive of that vision or that dream? Did you stop yourself at any point? These are the questions that come up around that space from 2008 until now, because this is what we're breaking free from. And when we're talking about building legacy, and specifically building wealth with legacy, because let's be very clear and intentional about that, because you as a soul have collectively, and I mean you, the collective, have come together to usher in a new era, to begin to build something that is dynamically powerful. And you were chosen to do this at this time. And when I have the conversation with you around what does wealth and building a legacy look like to you, because oftentimes our picture or our imagination is two things. Either it's so big it feels unobtainable, or it's, you know, you're holding back pieces of yourself, and to not be too much, if you would. And I'm going to push you a little bit today in the conversation around, if there was zero hesitation in your life around any decision that you made around wealth, and you were crystal clear, what decisions would you make without hesitation around what you know you're here to do and what that bigger picture is? Because it's not the far extreme over here where it's so big it feels overwhelming and there's no possible way. And it's not this conforming to something that you think you should do or that you have done in the past. So in between those two is where I talk about legacy and building a legacy. It's that sweet spot in the middle that feels passionate and raw and lit up and lights you up and feels like flow and receiving at the same time. Not push, or what we call the masculine, hustle, grind. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like this flow and effervescence that calls to you. It feels like home and it lights you up. And in particular, when I speak about wealth, when you're in flow, when you're in rhythm with your particular wealth, not everyone else's wealth, and the way that you know exactly what I'm speaking about is the number or the place around wealth sits inside of you. It's not an external, I want 10K a month, or I want to have, you know, these 5 businesses. It sits inside of your body as an embodied truth. This is the place that I'm going to activate within you today. Because without that embodied truth, you're always reaching for something that exists outside of you that your body has no idea what it is. It's a foreign concept. This is the difference between liberté, being liberated in wealth, being liberated in your legacy, versus the grabbing, the push and pull, the questioning, all of those things. Because the truth is that what you're here to build and the wealth that you are meant to receive exists inside your body, from your soul's perspective to your body. Then in turn goes to your mind to instruct you as how to create that. And this is the process for visioning that, is finding that truth within you and going towards that direction. So when I began this process, for me, I clearly understood that at 21, I was here to do something radically different, because that's when I started my first company. I went on to build, 13 locations and 5 other companies from there. I had a deep understanding around wealth and money and the frequency of money itself being an embodied truth, not a concept outside of me, but an embodied truth. And the truth is that money has this rhythm and this flow that it wants you to be in. And it has nothing to do with the intention that you set for it, because that's an external. It is an internal knowing and deep resonance with passion, with joy, with fire that you cultivate building that wealth. It also requires zero hesitation, So when your intuition from an embodied place as a soul perspective says you need to go drive down the street and do something that you didn't plan on doing today, it is because your soul has all your intelligence that it needs to create that thing that you're meant to create as far as wealth goes. And when you hear it and you don't question it and you don't hesitate on it and you act with precision and dedication to the vision being crystal clear. I want to have 5 businesses, or I have 5 businesses and I make this amount of money and I give back in this way. Because your soul is, and the universe and life are actually moving you into that destination. It's the mind and the loops that we run within our mind, and also trying to shop it for other people's approval. And then you shrink, and then you hesitate on taking the action. And if you meet any resistance, let's say a no, or something comes up, like the internet doesn't work, or the thing goes all crazy, we immediately kind of go and shrink to fit the container of the block. And if you can dedicate yourself to knowing that whatever shows up doesn't matter, because it doesn't change the outcome of what you're here to do and the wealth that you're meant to receive in order to build the legacy that you're here to leave. And when I say legacy, I need to be absolutely clear with you. This is not the thing of like the picture that's coming to mind is like Winston Churchill or something like that. It's not that thing. It's about having this balance between the give back to society in the sense of social give backs, like helping, feed, kids that don't have any food, or helping the elderly. There has to be a very strong give back in order to bring balance to the money that you're receiving, and not to the point where it's overgiven. But money likes to move in a flow and a rhythm. And if you're holding and not giving back in the ways that you need to give back, or you're giving your time instead of giving back with money, this creates a constriction energy around money. It feels tight. So not hesitating. When you hear the instruction, do the instruction. Knowing your embodied vision and truth from a soul perspective. The third is what cycle started in 2008 that you keep hitting the brick wall over. And the last thing that I will share with you in this space around, and then I'm going to do an activation for you so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I say vision. The last thing that I'm going to share with you is that there is required now to have plans or plan for your wealth to be built in order to create a legacy. And this is what I mean. If you do not have things set up in place for that version of your life to come in, then it doesn't have a proper container to be in, because your life is not supporting that vision to come here. I'll explain further. If you're here to create a business, I'm just going to use this as an example because it's relevant, and then I'll use my own example. If you're here to create a business that is a clothing line, but you haven't looked into any of the design or a seamstress or platforms that you would use for that, if you haven't even begun sketching, you don't have a sewing machine. No, those things are required for that particular business. And if you're not planning ahead, for that thing to come into your life, then you're sitting idle and you're not moving the energy. It requires dedication to the vision and executing plans. So when that thing shows up, because it is, you have the thing set in place. I'll give you another example. You want to have savings, you want to build assets for yourself, you want to have multiple different income streams that don't require you to be of service. Do you have a financial planner? Do you have a high yield savings account? Do you have other forms of income that support that piece of the wealth and the money working for you? Or are you just sitting there going, well, I'll do it when I get there? For example, I had a financial planner from the very beginning. Did I put the money in there right away? No. I waited to a certain point when I knew that it was the right moment to take, but we were already in the conversation. I already had the account set up, and I began to put the money aside to build different forms of wealth. So when you are planning for your success and executing with dedication to that vision, the universe and your body see that as truth and congruent with the frequency and the flow around money. Because, like I said, money likes flow. It likes to have definition, meaning like the financial planner and saving and respect. But it very much likes to flow and be in rhythm. And so when you're saving, that's a flow, that's a rhythm. If you're investing in stocks or different opportunities to invest wealth, then that creates that flow and that rhythm that creates a domino effect where money likes to engage with you and be free. So the other part of it too, not just talking about like the financial part of it, but is your life set up to support that vision? Because if you don't have certain things set up in the way of that timeline being now, or that vision being now, meaning your legacy, that legacy being now, are you working out every day? If that's a part of it. Are you taking care of your diet? Are you actively working on your mindset or your structures in your life? Are there things that need to be released in the form of toxic thinking or toxic patterns that wouldn't conduce of that energy coming into your life? And right now in this moment, if you were to stand in that wealth and that legacy that you're here to build, would you be doing the things that you're doing today? Because that's what I say when I say dedication and preparing your life for that thing showing up. Because if not, if your life is not the way it would be if that vision and that legacy were here, then there's some things that you need to correct. And so I invite you to take a look at those right now. If that legacy and that amount of wealth were to come into your life at this very second, would you have the plans, the support system, the life structure, the conversations with yourself in place in order to support that vision to come in? Think about that. Because I guarantee you, there are some things that you would shift. Is there enough joy in your life for that? Because as much as we play, right, and as much as we create, we need to have that equally yoked synergy between life and frequency and dedication to the vision itself. And I'll give you a bigger perspective on that. The reason why it's occurring on such a mass scale for us to achieve the wealth in order to build the legacies that we're here to build. It's a divine co-creation between the universe and your soul that was agreed upon before you got here. And it's not optional. I mean, you could think it would be optional. That would be a fun idea, right? It's not optional, because the thing is either you get there the hard way or you get there the easy way. I'd rather plan execution in order to support the bigger vision that I'm here to do. And it may be turning loose of a way that you have worked with people or services that you have offered that no longer serve you, or it could be letting go of a product that is no longer serving that bigger vision. And as a builder myself, and understanding and seeing visions for other people around legacy building. And when I say legacy building, that's different forms of income, different businesses, and creative projects. Like you'll see there's an easel back there on that side. You have to have this creative aspect to the seriousness and the dedication of the legacy, right? Because the passion is what brings the money to you. And great wealth requires joy, passion, and embodiment. 3 things. And respect of the vision. 4 things. But it involves creative projects that are just for you, just for fun, just for self-expression. It also requires a dedication to the body itself, the physical DNA structure. So are you eating healthy? Are you meditating? Are you walking? Are you moving your body in some way to hold that big vision? Because it is a big vision. And if you don't understand that by now, let me tell you, when we get to the visioning part, you're going to be amazed. In addition to the service and the give back, the big give back, the society give back without strings and attachments. For example, in my legacy, part of my give back is that I help find missing children and bring them home. I also have a very strong connection to horses, so I donate and serve my time to help with equine therapy ranches around me. I also help veterans. There's different things that don't have to do with necessarily money investment, but have to do with the energy exchange and where I'm showing up to be of service. And for me, that's a lot of different pieces. So for you, it may be a lot of different pieces. But that's what increases your wealth and gets you into that space of thinking bigger than who you are. So beginning today, think about also the things that you would give back to, and be very clear and intentional about those things. And they have to be a calling from your soul to you, not just because someone else around you does it. So right now, I'm going to begin the activation process around bringing these things to yourselves from your soul's perspective, around the wealth and around the legacy and around the give back, the 3 parts. So I just want you to take a minute and just get centered in your body for a second. And I'm just going to speak to your soul. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask that all of the angels and guides and assistants that we have from the other side, both from the universe and your soul and my soul and the container that we are sharing today in this big portal opening around 11:1, around the truth of who we are and what we're here to build. So appropriately so. I'm going to invite my guides and my team and my soul to assist you in witnessing your vision. So I'm going to speak to your soul and your body at the same time, because your legacy and your wealth exist in your body. And as the soul that is coming forth to bring this legacy and this amount of wealth from the body into the 3D world, from the 5D consciousness of a concept, a knowing, a timeline that exists already, I'm going to ask that your soul bring this into your cells and into your DNA structure as a conversation filled with joy and passion, a rawness, a rebelliousness to set fire to life, your life. And if there were no barriers between your vision of wealth and building your legacy and the mark that you want to leave here, what are those businesses and those give backs and those creative projects that are calling to you? What do they look like? What do they feel like? What do they move like? Because they exist in your body as a known concept. I speak to that 5D version of you, to merge the 5D with the 3D into the body itself, into the inner structure of the bones, in the framework of the nervous system, and inside the heart frequency of the deep intuition of your soul. And I know from the core of my being, working with the universe in tandem with your soul, that this is your mission and this is what you are here to create. So I ask that it be brought forth in such a clear, precise way that there is zero question about what you are here to do. And that it is grounded within the frequency of the earth as a 3D grounded concept within the soles of your feet, into the framework of the skin, that your eyes begin to see the truth without limitation, without barriers about what society says is true and not true, what you've known prior to this moment, how much wealth you have known or not known, what your family has known as far as wealth. And I disconnect all truths that are not serving this vision at this moment now. And allow that flow and that rhythm and that deep passion of knowing. I allow that vision to become clear to you now. And I'm going to pause and let that come in for you. Brilliant, clear, raw. And as you breathe, your cells begin to move with this knowing and this truth around your wealth, around your legacy, and around what you're here to build. It begins to wrap itself around your cells, working like electricity in your body, connecting cells to connecting cells to connecting cells of truth and vibrancy. A deep knowing conversation between your soul and the universe and life itself. Because life is here to support that vision coming to the earth. And I allow your eyes to be open, your spiritual eyes to be open to this truth. And I invite you to experience the totality of your wealth and your liberté building of a legacy that is so profound, it changes the time and the framework of your soul here on earth from this moment forward. And so be it. And as you ground and come back to your body, just take some notes about your experience with that vision today. And I thank your guides and your soul and your team for showing up. And as an activator that I am, reflecting back to you, your pure potential and your soul's legacy, liberated from life, free, in joy and in passion for all that you are. And so when you're ready to rejoin our conversation, we're beginning to wrap up. And I invite you to have faith, a faith that you have never known before in your life, to be activated, because this vision, your legacy, and your wealth are true. They are true. They are fact. And I invite you to move in life in that way. So wrapping up with that space, have the plan. Go back and look in 2008 and what's been stopping you. What do you need to let go of? How you're serving or how your business is constructed itself. What are the things that you need to let go of? What is the vision of your wealth and your legacy? Are you acting according to preparing your life for that vision? Do you have a plan in place in all different areas in your life that you have done today? Are you planting the seeds for that vision to have root and take strong in your life? Do you have creative expression that builds joy and effervescence in your life so that it is supported by this frequency? All of those questions, as we recap and we move into closing this moment that we share together, I want you to take this powerful opportunity today as you join in other conversations within this container itself, an infinite wealth that you actually hold within your body, within your soul, that is available to you and only you, but us as a collective as well. And with that being said, I'm Dr. Janelle Hoyland, and welcome to the magic of being the luckiest person I know. We are complete. Thank you all for joining in a conversation about wealth and building your legacy. I'm so excited for where you're going from here. Thank you so much for sharing your day with me.
I'm Cherise Marie, and I'm grateful you joined us today as we explored the boundless potential within each of us to manifest a life rich in all dimensions. We love hearing your thoughts and stories, so don't hesitate to reach out and join our growing community of like-minded visionaries. Until next time, keep dreaming big and manifesting boldly. And remember, you have the power to create a world of infinite wealth and limitless opportunities. Together, let's continue paving this path to prosperity. Take care, stay inspired, and as always, dream on.